board approve the 2024-25 budget amendments as presented.
Second.
Motion passes.
Mr. Vice President, I move that the Board of Education approve the transfer of funds from the general incidental fund to the service revenue teachers fund to cover all expenditures that are not covered by another source of revenue per RS Missouri 165.111 in that fund in an amount not to exceed $15 million. A second.
President Burton.
Mr. President, so Jackie, do you have some comments on this one?
I'm happy to talk about this one. So the state statute requires that there's enough money in each fund to cover the expenses that will be spent out of that fund. The teachers fund, it's a very normal budget process from Fund 1 to Fund 2 to cover teacher salaries, teacher benefits. It also covers tuition payments to other districts. So this is just a requirement to cover what we've spent this year.
And how is it 15 million determined?
At this time, it is based on the amounts we've already spent out, plus what we are still intending to spend out for the rest of the year. I'm expecting it will be less than 15 million. I like to go a little bit high to be sure that we spend.
All right, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Were you able to hear me or did you need me to repeat that? Okay. You're good? Okay.
Did you all hear Ms. Jackie?
Yes.
Yes, we heard. Heard.
Anyone else have any questions, concerns? Mr. Burton, President Burton? It's time to vote. President Burton,
Aye.
Mr. Watson,
Aye.
Mr. Jameson,
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Need a motion, please, for the recommendations.
Mr. Vice President, I move that the Board of Education approve the transfer of funds from the general incidental fund to the capital projects fund per RX Missouri 165.011 for the purpose of ongoing capital improvement and equipment needs in the amount of $3 million.
Got the same reason.
It is a very similar reason. The Fund 1 to Fund 4 transfer is because we will be wrapping up all of our bond projects that we currently have out this summer. And so we will need some capital outlay in Fund 4 for we're purchasing some buses and other capital outlay needs.
I need someone to second it.
Second.
President Burton,
Aye.
Mr. Watson,
Aye.
Mr. Jameson,
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Yes. Motion, please.
Mr. Vice President, I move that the board approve FY 26 budget as presented.
Second.
President Burton, does anyone have any questions?
Aye.
Mr. Watson,
Aye.
Mr. Jameson,
Aye.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Motion passes. Motion, please.
Mr. Vice President, I move that the Board of Education approve the Missouri Course Assessment and Virtual School Program, MOCAP, re-engagement program agreement as presented.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Jackie. President Burton,
Aye.
President, Mr. Watson,
Aye.
Mr. Jameson,
Aye.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Yes. I just want to ask, are there any changes to this program? This year, that last, I think we had some conversation about this, last.
Your mic.
This is actually a new program. We have not really had an active role with our MOCAPs because it was done a little bit differently. Graduation Alliance is a new company that has entered the state of Missouri. And what's different about this particular company is they have their own dropout recovery part of their program. Most programs, we have to find the graduates, we have to get them enrolled, we have to do the work. But Graduation Alliance, they have hired their own people to take our dropout list and to go after students who would be fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, all the way up to 21 years old, to try to find these students, to get them into their program. They provide the certified teachers, they provide the program, they provide the support and the recovery. And when they finish, they become Raytown graduates. So this particular company does the legwork to find the graduates as well as making sure that they complete the program.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Good evening, Ms. Bassett.
Good evening.
I have one question for you.
Yes.
How familiar are we with this program?
How familiar are we with this program? They are new to the state of Missouri. They've been very active in Michigan, Florida, Arizona, and in other states, and they've had about a 75% graduation rate where they have improved in these other cities. We are their initial work is going to be with us, and which is really exciting because most MOCAP if we don't find the dropouts, they don't get into them. This particular program finds them, gets them enrolled, and they have their own system to make sure that they can get through all of the requirements for graduation.
Do we play any role in finding them? If we found some, would they take them?
Yes, they will.
Okay.
Mhm. We provide them the list and then they do the work. But if we know of some, they would love to do that as well. But they understand that a lot of times districts are challenged with having like a full team of people to go out. And when you have students that are that live in the area of sometimes in Independence, Kansas City, Raytown, because of the way of our district is set up, they do the legwork. They get the people to go out to the homes, they do the visits, they're very active in making sure that they recover the students because in all honesty, if they don't recover the students and get them graduated, they don't take any of the costs. They don't only get paid if they get the students graduated. That's what they commit to, which is very different from other places. So that's because they believe in their program that much.
Okay, so does that mean that what we're paying is comparable to what we're leaving behind?
We don't pay anything because we don't get money for those students because they're dropouts. This is at zero cost to us.
Okay.
So they're providing wraparound services and everything for these children.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Sure.
And so, may I add, the company actually reached out to us as a result of, to your question also, Mr. Newton, just to add to it, they reached out to us as a referral from colleagues of mine across the nation that they've been doing work with. One of them I actually did work with years ago, but they were not in this line of recapturing our students who've dropped out. So of course, after speaking with them, we vetted them. I met with them, I vetted them, and then I forwarded them to Ms. Bassett and Mr. Britt and those others in the curriculum office to really engage them even more and ask those in-depth questions. And as you all talked about, it really is no cost to us, but it is just another opportunity to capture a child who may have dropped out And so instead of us having additional staffing to go and try to find those individuals, they will do the work for us. And I believe that one dropout is one dropout too many. And so whatever opportunities we can put in place to support our children, to make sure they get the credentials they need so they can be successful beyond school, we will invest in that. While there is truly not a monetary investment in the forefront, it is one in the back end when our children are able to receive their high school diploma.
I have one follow-up question. What is this current dropouts, or what's the window on dropouts when you say?
They will recover students all the way up to age 21. So these students could be students who are dropped out this year. Which should graduate 25, 26, and 26. They'll get the 25 dropouts, 24 dropouts, and 23 dropouts. They're going to go back at least to 2023. But if there's some that fit within that 21-year age, that's what they're working toward. They'll stay with these students until they hit 21.
So,
Mr. Vice President,
yes,
just had a question of, so if a dropout moves, let's say way out of the Raytown school district, will this company still try to go after them? Will that still count towards our graduation rate, or will it go to, the Blue Springs if they move to Blue Springs, or if they move, to Kansas, will it count towards that?
No, they will still be our graduate if they recover them, no matter where they're located. So because they're our dropout, no matter where they are. So they become our graduate. Yes.
And that's because they're not in school.
Because they're not in school anywhere. Now, if they were to enroll some other place, then that would be their student. But if they left school and they haven't enrolled in any other place, they are our dropout. So when we recover them, they are our graduate, which is exciting.
With our diploma.
With our diploma, yes.
So does this have anything to do with Stephanie Boyston and the group that we have over there? With the impact group, it doesn't? Okay. Thank you so much for that.
Absolutely, thank you.
Pass. Motion passes. Motion.
Mr. Vice President, I move that the Board of Education adopt policies G, D, B, D, A, support staff, leave, and GCBDA, professional staff, short-term leaves.
And second.
Yes. President Burton.
Aye.
Mr. Watson.
Aye.
Mr. Jameson.
Aye.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Motion for adjournment.
Mr. Vice President, I move that the board adjourn the special Board of Education meeting at 5:54 p.m.
Second.
Motion that meeting adjourned. All in favor?
Gotta take
Aye.
Aye.
a question.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Jameson, aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.